Hey guys, Devine here. Hope you're doing fabulous as always. So guys, today I want to talk to you about living in the unseen. And I know that might sound a little strange to some of you, but we're going to get into some different things and why you're at where you're at and where you can be. And we're going to do that right after this. All right, guys, welcome back. So like I was saying, this is something that's really dear to my heart because I believe this 100%. When you start living in the unseen, your life will completely be transformed. See, most people never live in the unseen because they don't know how to position themselves to actually believe in the unseen, right? Most people are where they're at in life because they believed that they could get there because they could see it. You know, if you went to high school and you wanted to be a police officer because your father was a police officer or your friend was a police officer, you believed it because you could see it. You already had an experience with it. Some people go to be a doctor because they idolize a doctor and they saw it, right? But there's other people who maybe never had that person in their life that told them, look, you can be anything you want to be as long as you believe you will receive, right? So they can't picture themselves being a doctor. They can't picture themselves being a lawyer. They can't picture themselves being a multimillionaire because they're living in the seen world. They're not living in the unseen. You know, what I really want you guys to understand is right now, most people, and I'm not saying all, but I would say a good chunk of people are where they're at because that's what they see is their potential. Instead of understanding, like the Bible says that, you know, if you believe, you can receive. You know, and it talks about you don't need to be living in the seen because what's seen is never eternal, right? And so when you look at what the Bible says about having faith and believing in the unseen, then all of a sudden you can realize that, wait a second, these people who are very successful in life, it's not because they're more gifted than you. It's not because they have a different lifestyle growing up necessarily. What it is they have the ability to see the unseen. I love that movie, the Santa Claus with Tim Allen. And when he's there and he's perplexed, he's looking at the elf. I mean, the polar bear down there, and the little elf says, Santa Claus, what's wrong? He said, this can't be real. I mean, I see a polar bear directing traffic down there. And he said, I see it, but I don't believe it. And the little elf said, Santa, you got it backward. Seeing is not believing. Believing is seeing. And when you understand that, doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, when you change your thought patterns to believing in what you can't see right this moment, then you can have anything you want. You know, when you look at the world, okay, everything is made out of energy. You're made out of energy. I'm made out of energy. My dog that's sitting right next to me here is made out of energy. Everything that has life has energy within it, okay? And when you look at the way God created us, when our brains are believing and it's looking into the faith aspect, it's putting off a different type of energy. It's believing, it's sending signals out that are going to cause the things that you need to come to pass. When the Bible says, if you say unto the mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast in the sea, and you don't doubt, but believe that those things you say shall come to pass, you shall have whatsoever you believe, or whatever you say, excuse me, right? So when you have this thought and you want to be a multimillionaire, but you don't know how to get there, how do you go about seeing or believing in the unseen future? You know, and that's where people get lost. And that's where people look at a lot of these motivational speakers who talk about the type of things that I'm talking about, and they're just like, man, it just never works for me. I went to saw the movie The Secret. I went and read these books. I went and did this. I went to this class. But I'm still not successful. And the reason is because what happens is you run into this mental roadblock. You run into this situation where the world is going to try to bring you down, first things first. Because when you start believing in the unseen, people are going to think you're crazy until they see that what you are seeing in the unseen actually starts to come to pass in your life, and they're going to be like, how did that happen? You know, and then they're not going to accept the detail that you operated on faith. You believed in something that wasn't there yet. So what happens is you're going to have to believe, and it's not necessarily going to happen right that day, right that week, that month, maybe not even that year, right? But it will happen. But you have to understand that circumstances are going to come against you. Things are going to go on around you. You cannot expect that everything is going to happen in our timing, because our brains have been programmed for so long with so many different bad things that we put in them through our parents, our school, ourselves. You know, you have to understand that you have to break through until your brain is thinking on that level of faith. When you're thinking on that level of faith, then all of a sudden that's when things start happening. You know, when you look at everything that everyone does, you can tell the people who operate in the unseen. They speak differently. They talk differently. They act differently. They present themselves differently. They have a different aura about them. They understand that it doesn't matter what I'm seeing, because what I'm seeing, I'm not believing, because this is not who I am. I am something bigger and better than what I'm seeing. Now, you might see this and you might judge me for what you see right this moment, but I guarantee what you're seeing is only temporary, because where I'm going to be and where I am in my mind, that's where I am. It doesn't matter what anything else looks like. Until you can get this to continually think and understand who you are, who you really are. And guys, let's be honest, if the Bible's true, when we get to heaven, we're going to be walking on streets of gold. Why should we not be walking on streets of gold here? Why should we not be able to live that same life here on the earth? Right? I mean, you've got to understand it has to come from you seeing the unseen. And when you do it, you got to sit there. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to sit, okay, I'm sorry. No. We've gone through this in other videos. You have to get down and dirty. You have to be able to really feel it. You could, in order for your subconscious mind to get in there so that that faith can actually start operating, right? You got to feel it. You got to taste it. You got to touch it. You got to smell it. You got to be able to talk to it. You have to get all 5 of your senses involved in that vision, because that vision of the unseen cannot come to pass. And this is why so many people feel they hear these stories, but they don't spend that time, at least twice a day, get into their own mind and picturing it, feeling it, letting that unseen become more of a reality in their life than what they're seeing in their life right now. And when you do that, guys, that's when you start to prosper. That's when you get the job you want. That's when you find the soulmate. That's when you have the best friends around you. Those things are going to be there, but you have to be here in your mind first. Because seeing is not believing. Believing is seeing. Okay, guys? Hope you got something out of this. I know it might have been a little bit different for some of you, but I think it's really, really important. I want to really start focusing on getting you guys to that next level, getting myself to the next level. You know, I'm not where I want to be, but you know what? It's a daily process. And together, we can do it. Continue to stay tuned to the next video, guys. I'm going to continue to keep on going on and trying to help you guys as much as I can. But guys, I'm here to give you that spirit of the spirit of perspective, because I know if I do that, I can change your life, right? And I know that's going to only happen when I change your perspective, okay? And I'll say it the way I always say. If I can change your perspective, I will change your life. And then we can change this world one person at a time. By the way, guys, make sure you comment them down below. Make sure you're sharing these videos. Also, if you want me to speak at one of your upcoming events or you need a life coach, shoot me an email as well. Go to my website. You can get all my information there. It's down below. And guys, as always, make sure you create yourselves a fabulous day.